Hey, how's it going? Mike here, the Fresh Rinse, on location at the Wash Mahal. Actually, I guess it would be the Wash Curb Mahal or the Curb Wash Mahal. Nonetheless, I'm doing a little maintenance on this Saturday. My wife is away, keeping the grandbabies for the day. And so I thought I would do some tuning up, and it reminded me that I have not yet done a companion video to a video that I did last week called My Morning Routine. You can go back on my channel and you can see kind of what I do almost, if not every morning prior to leaving the Wash Mahal to head out and wash for the day. Well, if there is a before wash routine, then there must be an after wash routine. What do I do at the end of the day when I pull up in front of the house or in the driveway and clock out for the day? Which reminds me, at the end of today's video, I'm going to share with you a change that I'm making in Fresh Rinse Media. A change that I'm making in my videos and in my wash career. This should be interesting, so stay tuned towards the end of the video. I'll share that with you. I digress. My at the end of the day wash routine. What goes on with the Fresh? Well, it kind of plays out throughout the day. Throughout the day, while I'm washing, I will make both literal and mental notes of things that need to be done to my equipment, and it's always maintenance related. If I have a surge in a pump, I may need to change a check valve. If I have a leak somewhere, I've got O-rings, no doubt, that need to be replaced. Maybe my injector isn't working correctly and that needs to be refreshed or tuned up. There's just so many different things that can take place throughout a wash day, and I make a mental or a literal note of that. And then if I can, on the spot, make those pivots and adjustments, then I do so. But if it means waiting till I get home, then many times before I even head into the house, I will make those adjustments. So for instance, if on the job I have a leak somewhere, whether it's in a hose or in my gun, and it requires me to change an O-ring, I do that on the spot. Of course, if an injector is not working properly, then I swap that out on the spot. But when I get home, I will then repair that messed up injector. So I know that it's working, so I know that it's ready, because eventually that injector that I replaced it with is going to go bad. And so the revolving door, this circle of maintenance needs to take place, and I do that at the end of the day. Today is Saturday. Again, my wife is away, so I decided to take a few hours and do some maintenance, and I changed out a ton of O-rings. While washing yesterday, I noticed that when I would let off the trigger, sometimes my machine would continue running, and I could hear it in the background. It's humming, and it sounds terrible. And of course, that'll alarm you on the job, but what that usually means, if not always, is that there is a leak somewhere. So today, I pulled out all of my hose. I diagnosed the problem. I had one of my hose had a bad O-ring, and then also the quick connect that goes right into my pump was leaking. I changed those out, problem solved. I also, having ordered some tips from Russ Johnson, Southside Equipment, for both my 31-inch and my 19-inch, I replaced those today. Man, those things are flying now. And it's interesting that the tips in particular, they're a slow fade, right? Like they don't just go bad, it just slowly degresses. And so, or progressively gets worse. You don't notice it until you replace them. And so having replaced the tips, I'm like, wow, why have I been waiting so long? Of course, oil changes, belt changes, things of that nature take place on a Saturday. But at the end of every work day, I make sure that everything is working properly. Anything that wasn't working up to snuff completely during the day, I fix that at the end of the day. I do not let that go. I mean, it's rare that I let that go. If I get home late in the evening, I might eat supper, then come out and do it, but I rarely let that go even to the next day. Most of the time, I get home between 3 and 4 o'clock just about every day. And that's about 4 to 5 washes a day. Sometimes it's house washes, roof washes, concrete, combination of the three. And I can pretty much project that I'll be home if I have scheduled it correctly geographically in a route that's a good pattern for me. I'm going to get home around 4 o'clock, if not earlier. And that allows me from 4 to about 5 to do this maintenance or this post-wash routine that I go through, which leads me to this. Earlier I mentioned that I'm going to share with you a change, if you will, a pivot in my washing, in my videos, in my literal pressure washing career, and it's this. At the end of every video, most of you who watch regularly know that I say, hey, my name's Mike, they call me the Fresh Rinse, and I'm out. Well, I'm adding a word to that. And the word is clocking. Hey, my name is Mike, I'm the Fresh Rinse, and I'm clocking out. And there's a reason for it. 9 years in, almost 10 now, my wife is beginning to give me the stink eye. Well, I can't say that she's beginning to give me the stink eye. I'm just kind of really noticing that I'm getting the stink eye more often. It's because as a business owner, as somewhat of an entrepreneur, I think about my business all the time. If I'm not thinking about my business, I'm thinking about something business related. And if it's not maintenance, then it's making phone calls or answering phone calls. It's adjusting my schedule. It's responding to YouTube videos, so forth and so on. I'm gonna get the mail and I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for your patience. So I'm making an adjustment. I'm clocking out. Probably around the 5 o'clock time, if possible, and I'm home, I'm just clocking out. If I don't have my videos made by then, I won't be making videos. If I haven't answered or responded to the different comments on the videos, it probably won't happen. Within reason. Sometimes my wife goes shopping and I can take care of those things. I'm finding that even all the way up to bedtime, I'm checking the phone, checking for comments, checking my phone for text messages from customers. And my wife, even last week when we were on vacation, we took a little mini vacation, and she's like, you gotta clock out. You gotta clock out, because customers were calling, people requesting quotes, and all of that is a machine that is ever going and ever operating at all times. So those of you who are looking to get into the business and you think, well, one of these days I'm going to be washing 4 and 5 houses. Well, let me tell you, that comes at a price, and it means that you're probably going to be clocked in at all times. I continue to do it, so obviously it's worth it. But what I have to do to make it even more worth it is make some adjustments. So I hope that you will respect that. I think that you will, and certainly you can appreciate the fact that, you know, at some point I need to make a better impression on my wife. We're practically empty nesters, so the kids aren't necessarily impacted, but you know what? Come home from work, she's been here most of the day. Well, this time of the year, she's a school teacher, so she'll begin working again, I think, next week. But nonetheless, come home, she's tired, I'm tired, and what do? I continue to work. So the Fresh has to clock out. So there you have it. Hey, I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, and you'll never miss another video. All right. My name is Mike. They call me the Fresh Rinse, and I'm clocking out.